Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Men's Chapter House. Here we're going to get in a roll with Townsen. He has been training for probably only about 6 months now. He has decent enough awareness, so like when he comes by, he's a little timid though for the attack. However, it's still early in the day. He's still getting warm, I think. Yeah, sitting over someone like that only works if you can actually clear their legs and you have an intention to do so. Here I'm basically sitting into a guillotine. Not always a recommended thing if you can't pass by. Here I'm just doing rotational. As you see, I walked around, didn't quite get it. He grasps my ankle like he's going to go for an ankle lock, and I'm like, yeah, go ahead and give it a try, because he doesn't have control of a lot of the body, but then he uses it to try to cross and get stuck in guard, and then rotate. We're going to end up into the top mount position, and he's hyperextending his arms. Here I'm just driving my hips forward. Again, not going for submissions. We are just kind of like rolling around. You don't really typically want to extend your hands so much in that fashion. It makes them very easy to submit. And here he's going to get swept again because of the positioning of my legs. Yes, he was in guard, but once in guard on that positioning, this is silly. That was not a super good position to be in. A little bit of pressure on his body. Wasn't technically my intention, I do not believe. However, I was trying to move and my foot was trapped, so I was basically just putting two knees on his chest, I guess. And here I'm going to turn back in. Using that north-south position, head to hip, or I should say shoulder to hip in this case, and then using my hand to basically bring that head back so he doesn't rotate. Now he's flat, and I'm underneath his body now, and I'm very capable of just holding him here for a while, and then he rotates. This is very good. When he had my leg, he basically trapped my ability to move my hips around. If I had been dropping my hip more, could have probably prevented that, but this is the trade-off when you start doing positional work. Here I go for a little bit of hip motion, threatening the arm. He needs to pull his arms more like free. And you see he pulls his arm back. He's not finishing the sweep. And now his arm's trapped. I'm trying to get my leg out of there because it's dangerous for him. We're just going to hold that foot. When people have their feet under control, their movement is a lot more restricted. It's a lot like holding someone's wrist and just not letting their arm move. You're controlling it at the furthest point of extension, typically, and that means that your leverage on that joint is much higher, or I should say your restriction of mobility / pin is more likely to work. Doesn't mean that they can't increase motion or dedicate more resources to it or anything like that, but when an arm is straightened out or a leg is straightened out, one, they typically can't punch you or kick you, just like if you were shaving a sheep or anything like that. But also it allows you to move the stick, basically. If I have control of a stick's end and I move it, it has the greatest impact on the other end of the stick, not for movement-wise, if that makes sense. That being said, that's the end of the round. Hope you guys had a good one. And hopefully you learned a little bit from this motion. All right, guys. See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.